Good morning and welcome to Panther Pod, the podcast where we interview the most requested people on campus. I'm your host, Max Ortiz, and co-hosting with me is
Mauricio Aguilar, and today we are here with the AP coordinator, Miss Mcnair.
Hi, thank you.
So how do you feel, being here on Panther Pod?
It's very exciting and flattering to be on Panther Pod.
Well, thanks. It's good to know that we're at least flattering to be with.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us anything about the AP and how does it work?
All right, so AP classes are available to all students, and we encourage students to try to take at least one AP class in their entire career at Jordan High School. If you pass your AP class with a C or better, you get an additional GPA point. So an A is like having a super A B is like having an A, etc. If you pass your AP exam with a 3 or better, then you get college credit for that particular class. So it saves you a ton of money in college.
Sounds like a great option to do. It's something everyone should be doing here.
Yeah, we hope everyone is doing it here. That's our goal.
So what classes are offered here that are AP?
So we offer AP Computer Science Principles, which is open to all grade levels, and we offer AP Seminar, which is an awesome way to prep yourself for college. It does research, writing, and speaking skills. And then the second half of that class is AP Research, which teaches you basically how to write a thesis, like a college-level thesis in high school. We have AP English for 11th and 12th grade, AP Spanish Literature, AP Spanish Language, AP Calculus, AP Statistics, and AP World History, AP US History, and AP Government and Economics, and AP Music Theory, and AP Art, 2D, and Design. We have a lot. We have a lot to offer. There's something out there for everyone.
I would take a deep breath in between that.
I know, right?
So many.
What are some classes you'd recommend for like people who are just starting out, like as freshmen or sophomore?
Okay, so the College Board, who's the program that sponsors the AP, has more offerings for 11th and 12th graders than they do for 9th and 10th graders. But if you're coming in as an incoming freshman, a good place to start would either be AP Computer Science Principles or AP Seminar. If you're a 10th grader, you get to choose from AP World History, Computer Science, or Seminar. And then if you have Spanish background already, or if you've taken Spanish in middle school, you can take AP Spanish Language.
Okay. What about for 11th and 12th graders?
So when you get into 11th and 12th grade, it just opens wide up, and you can take English, history, math. If we get enough interest, we can add science. You can take music theory. You can take art. It just depends on what you're interested in.
Are there any AP courses you guys don't have yet, but you want to add in?
That happens every year. So it's totally based on student interest. So this year, for the first time, we added AP Music Theory, and it's 3 students in a class with some advanced music students. But if we could get, we used to have physics. If we could get physics back, that would be awesome. We're looking at adding AP Psychology next year, which I think would be really interesting for a lot of students.
So besides the AP exam and getting college credit and the 1 extra point boosting your GPA, what are some other incentives for students to take AP?
So students who take AP are more prepared for college and for a work environment because it hones your critical thinking skills, your analytical skills, your writing skills, your reading skills. And then College Board itself has done studies that show that students who score at least a 2 on an AP exam are more likely to stay in college than students who don't take AP or who only score a 1 on the exam. And the scores go from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, and a 3 is passing.
So what APs would you recommend, like, from going from most difficult to, like, easiest? If you had to rank them.
That really depends on what your strengths are. So I wouldn't say that there's necessarily, like, a harder one. There are college classes in high school, so they are going to be more challenging than your regular class, but it's really about the students' organization, their time management, and their mindset. If they have an open mind and feel like they can accomplish it, then they'll go a lot farther than a kid that feels like, oh, I just don't get this and gives up. So It's really about making sure you organize your materials, manage your time, utilize your resources, and then coming to me if you need help. Like kids wait till the last minute, like 2 days before the end of the semester. Oh my gosh, I have a 34% in the class. I can't do anything to help you when it's that close and that low. You have to say something when it's not, do or die moment. Like earlier in the semester, if you don't get it, you got to say something. Otherwise, you're going to not do well.
Did you take any college classes in your high school years?
Okay, so funny story. I have never actually taken an AP class because I went to a high school that tracked kids, and you were either AP track or not AP track. And apparently I was not AP track, so they didn't even offer it to us. So that's what's really nice about AP now is that it's open to everyone. The College Board has an open access policy, so literally anyone that feels they're up to the challenge can really like put their head in the game and wants to try can get into the class.
That sounds a lot like how Accelerated works back in middle school.
Yes.
Like where they just kind of give it to you. You don't really have an option. Like if you're on track with it, they'll be like, you can take Accelerated English.
Yeah.
You can request it.
We try not to do that. I mean, we don't want kids to be in a class and feel like, oh, somebody just dumped me in here. I don't really want to be in this class. We want kids to want to be there. They'll be more successful if they want to be there. So it's really about student selection.
So you said, well, you mentioned that they're like, they're supposed to be college level classes. Like they're supposed to challenge students.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly does like the AP coordinator do in terms of like helping students?
Okay, that's a really good question. So my room, which is B111, is the AP Cafe, and it is open during unscheduled periods. So kids who are unscheduled can come in. We have computers, we have art supplies, we have printers, we have textbooks, we have all kinds of stuff in there for kids to work on their assignments. I have kids come in, they do group study sessions, we offer tutoring, we have something that some of the other schools don't offer, which is a new program called Grade Slam, which we're just rolling out, which is an online tutoring program. And it's basically a way for you to interact with a live person on the computer 24/7 for any of your classes. So kids enrolled in the AP program will have access to that. And then we also offer just mentoring, like kids who feel like they need a little bit of extra eyes on their grades, they need a little extra push, or they need another set of ears so that someone can listen to what their stress is. Then they go on my coaching list, and then I mentor them personally.
And it's all like completely free, right?
Absolutely.
So there's no reason anybody should just not do it.
Right? It's the best.
So what else would you, like besides all that? I've been in there before. Why do you guys have MacBooks instead of Chromebooks? It might be a completely irrelevant question. I'm just curious.
It's not an irrelevant question. Kids come in all the time and they're like, "What? You have MacBooks? What's up with that?" We have MacBooks because the AP Spanish language test requires that students do a listening and speaking activity. And we chose the MacBooks based on the recommendation of the other AP coordinators at the other sites, because at the time, when we got them about 4 years ago, it was easier to record vocally on GarageBand than it was on the Chromebooks, because back in the old Chromebook day, you had to upload additional like an app to it to get the voice recording, and the app would crash. So it was easier for us to use the Macs, and so they've lasted a very long time. Thank you, students, for your nice use of them. And so we just continue to use GarageBand.
Yeah, I've actually used that for one of my AP exams, the Spanish exam.
Mm-hmm.
Like a whole 40 minutes is just recording to talk, and it did fine.
Yes, they're lovely.
So what would you have to say about, now that we're on the topic of AP exams,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of exams, or what can you tell to students who are trying to prep for an AP exam?
Don't wait till the last minute. Studying is, there's a difference between homework and studying. And homework is what students assign to you. What teachers, assign to you. And studying is something you get to have control over. So you choose how you want to study, when, what, all that stuff. Start studying now. Like go on to the College Board website. We have a new website called myap.collegeboard.org, excuse me. And kids can go on and start taking practice tests, get real-time feedback from actual AP readers who score the exams, and they will tell them where their strengths and weaknesses are. And the sooner they start going on there, using that resource, they can use Schmoop, they can use the Grade Slam. The sooner they start using those resources and getting those practices in, the better off they'll be.
So for anyone who doesn't know, when do the AP exams usually take place within the year?
They're always the first 2 weeks of May. So it depends on the order. It changes every year, but they're always the first 2 weeks of May.
So nearing the end of the school year.
Yes.
So for me, I think it was last year when I was taking my AP exams, they kind of crossed over into like finals-ish kind of.
Yes.
So how would they like balance that out?
So the AP exams come the first 2 weeks of May. We also run at the same time as the IB exams. So some kids who are enrolled in IB and have a conflict, we have to kind of work around that a little bit. And then usually about 3 weeks later, it's finals and then school's out. So it's a lot of prep for like tests, and then you're done.
Yeah, because the last month of school basically was nothing but testing.
Yes.
It was the SAT, the AP exams, and then finals.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have no control over the dates. The dates are set by the College Board. So if I could change it,
what can
I
you
would.
tell people who stress over like all those tests that they have that week?
Find a way to manage your time. That's the biggest way to relieve stress is like time block, some study time, and put in some fun time. If you spend all your time just studying and working and, you know, taking care of your family, whatever you're doing, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
You have to have some self-care, something that's even if
like
it's
decompression.
Yes, some decompression. Like even if it's only like 10 or 15 minutes a day, like just be outside, run around, get some fresh air, do something that really helps you like not think about school or work or stress or anything like that.
You always kind of want to feel like you're in control.
Yes.
Not like the studying is controlling you.
Absolutely. A good way to put it.
Yeah, because once it gets like that, you're not doing it for you anymore. You're just doing it because you feel like you have to do it.
Yes. We don't want you to feel obligated. We want you to want to do it.
So for any students looking to enroll into AP, would you say that they should do it because they want to do it or do it just because it boosts their GPA?
I think students are more successful when they want to do it because they want to challenge themselves, not because they're like, oh, I just want some bling at graduation or whatever. It should be more than just I want the pat on the back for the class. It should be I'm really trying to get college credit in high school so I don't have to take extra classes in college.
And the AP course is just basically just full prep for the exam, right?
Yep. It's literally just day one, we start working on prepping for the test. And we don't stop till the day of the test.
Because every AP that I've been in, they're always like, main goal is to pass the AP exam.
That's correct.
Like, you're here to get your college credit.
That's
for
right.
passing the exam.
That's right.
So for anyone, do you have any advice for students who are trying to get into AP? Like, what would be the first things you'll tell them if they came up to you and asked you, like, why should I join an AP?
The first thing that I tell them is you should challenge yourself. Don't take the easy way out, because a lot of kids are like, oh, I want an easy senior year, or I'm not trying to work that hard, or I've heard it all. So life is not about taking the easy way out all the time, and life is not about quitting when things get hard, because you can't always quit when it gets hard. So you have to think of this as like your job, and even though you're not getting money for it, you are getting benefits for it. And if you quit your job because your boss said, oh, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, and it's too hard, then how is that? I mean, you can't do that in a real job. You'll never keep a job if you just quit every time it gets hard. So we're trying to set you up with some solid life skills about how to cope with things when situations get hard, how to handle stress now, and how to organize yourself so that when you're an adult, you have those functioning skills and you can be a healthy adult too.
So it's not just an AP course, but like kind of a
It's
course
life.
that preps you for responsibility and what's happening
It's
later
a
on in life.
life journey.
And it has a lot to do with college, right? Like the AP course. So
Oh.
how good does it actually look on like a college transcript when you try to get in?
It's really helpful because there are colleges, if you pass the exam, you will get the college credit, which means you don't have to take the class, which saves you, depending on what college you go to,
Like time and money.
Yeah, super time and money. And then also, you have those skills. You're coming in with skills that kids who didn't take AP classes don't have. So you already know how to take notes, how to read critically, how to write very specifically. And that will save you time of just trying to like figure it out on your own.
So to wrap this up, what are a last couple of things you would tell somebody?
I was just gonna ask one more quick question. Are there some APs that look better than others?
That's a really good question. I would think that would have to do with your intended major. So like if you want to be an engineer, you should probably be an AP calculus versus AP statistics. Or if you want to be like a nurse, the other way around. You would rather take AP statistics than AP calculus. It's not so much about what looks better. Think about like what you're going to use the most in your major at college and your career. So that would be a better focus for that. Yeah.
All right, so again, Mauricio, just like if you had one thing to tell like any new incoming students, whether it be about AP or just life or just anything about the school, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to be present, get off their phones for a while and participate in life and feel what it's like to actually be a student and be present in the class and participate and, make the fullest experience you can out of high school because you only get it once. And you want it to be a good memory and you want it to be productive and not just something where you wished, you could have done it over. No regrets.
Some good advice, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, it was good having you here, Ms. Mcnair. You were a great guest.
Thank you. I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Panther Pod with our guest, Ms. Mcnair. If you have any other questions, you can find her in room B111. And we'll see you next time.